Workers and laborers contribute greatly to the smooth running of both the public and civil service. In Nigeria, May 1 is celebrated as Workers' Day or Labor Day. Workers have remained the backbone of every society, contributing to the progress and development of the country. Hello, thank you for joining us on yet another episode of your current affairs program, Issues, reaching you from the United Station NTA Channel 5 Abuja. And of course, on the program, we try to dissect topical issues. And today, we'll be looking at Workers' Day. And our guest will be joining us to dissect some of the important and salient issues as workers celebrate another day. Do join us again. Thank you for staying tuned. Well, as Nigerian workers celebrate another ritual of Workers' Day, which is usually on May 1st, today we will be looking at some of the issues on the front burner, which have consistently brought about dialogue between governments and labor or trade unions to discuss the welfare of the Nigerian workers. Today on the program, we will be joined by the chairperson of FCT Women Commission, in person of Comrade Sandra Obuna. She's a known face, and we'll be looking at some of these issues together with her. But this is after this time out. Do join us again. We're glad you're still with us. Now I have comrades Sandra Obuna, the FCT chairperson of TUC Women Commission, who is joining us in the studio to look at some of these issues as we celebrate another Workers' Day. You're welcome to Issues once again.
Thank you very much, and I'll say Happy Workers' Day in advance.
All right, you seem to be smiling. I don't know if you have so much to celebrate. Yes, it's another Workers' Day. So, what does this day bring to you as a worker, as a union leader, on a day like this?
On a day like this is a day that brings honor to workers. And this honor is a recognition of their contribution to the society, economy in general. And it also makes them to realize that they are valued and are being appreciated. And it's also an opportunity for us to celebrate ourselves, network once again, because we are coming out from our diverse organization, affiliates and union. It's also an opportunity for us to meet one another after a very long time, because it happens once a year. So it's really an honor for workers. This day is an honor for workers, and we celebrate it with all might.
Like I did observe earlier, we say workers are the backbone of every society. Like you mentioned, they're coming from different sectors, they're coming from different affiliates, associations, organizations. How do you think this has, grown over time to be able to be that building block of our society in terms of improving productivity, in terms of also, ensuring that everything goes well as far as Nigeria's development is concerned?
Yeah, it helps Nigerian productivity, because with us coming from different affiliates and association, it brings that synergy, collaboration. Everybody brings out their strengths. When you talk about affiliates and organization, all organizations have different things they do at their own, according to their core mandates. And all these are workers of Nigeria built together in those various sectors and industry. So the collaboration and synergies that happen among workers has really brought a lot of economic growth to the society.
Most often when we talk about labor unions, what readily comes to mind is the issue of always at loggerheads with government. But how can labor, the trade union survive in a society without much rancor? What do you think we need to always do so that labor still exists, government still does what it's supposed to do without having issues with the unions?
I don't really think there's an issue as per se. It's just maybe I agree or I do not agree in some time, but you can see that all happens during a time of dialogue. the government and the union comes together to sit down to dialogue. And what are they talking about? They are talking about the welfare, the wages, and also to be able to, they're advocating for the right of workers of the society. Because once their right is given to them and their wages and welfare is okay, and the working environment is conducive for the workers, the productivity height will be so high, they will work at the best of their apex, and that will contribute a lot to the growth of the society or the country at large. So the government and the workers synergy or dialoguing all the time is a very necessary factor or a major reason for existence for me, because they can't really be apart. They must once in a while come together, agree and disagree, but they will reach to a compromise where they will a kind of come to a better agreement with one another, and life still move on. Just like I said, because you see, work is still going on, no matter what we discuss with the government. Once in a while, we still have our ups and downs, but we'll find a way to balance it amicably.
I want to agree with you to an extent because for Nigeria as a country have a Ministry of Labor and Employment, as the case may be. From time to time, we've seen changes, labor and employment, labor and whatever it is called. It goes a long way to tell you how, seriously the government takes issue of labor or welfare of its workers or citizens. I think over time you can also rule out the fact that these two parties have always agree and disagree over time. How, in your own way, as a trade union leader, you think we can best approach issues so that we don't even get to that level where government is saying no and labor is saying no, or labor is saying yes and government is saying no? We've seen such most often.
Yeah, that's why, like, for me, I know as a union leader, when you take it to our normal organization or affiliate level, there is this, like from my affiliate, there's what we call the JCC, when the workers or the union part meet with the management to discuss vital issues that need action points. Such points that are being penciled down, the management listening to us and tell us the best way they feel to approach this. And we also give them one or two strategy on how we feel best, because we are the workers, we are on the receiving side. So our strategy or our own opinion is valid so much because we are the ones on the other side receiving whatever that we feel the pain. Like the adage that say, he that wears the shoes knows how it fits, so, or pinches him or her. So by doing so, they also go back one way or the other, have their own management meetings, also have some government meetings or about what their workers are advocating for, and by so doing, a continuous meeting, communication, collaboration, and dialogue will bring us to not having any rancor. And at the same time, the opportunity for the other party to understand that the other party has a right will also make the whole thing no rancor at all, and we have a smooth running.
I want to ask you this. Probably, maybe it might be your own opinion, but you have your right to your opinion too. We've seen variations or a class of welfare packages from one organization to the other. If you ask, what would be your advice? Probably the best way to approach, taking care of the welfare of, Nigerian workers.
When you mean variation or differences in welfares and packages, like you say, I like how, for me to say something about this is, can I use this local adage that we say all fingers are not equal, and at the same time you know that all sectors are not doing the same thing at a particular time. There are certain people that where they work, the kind of hazard that goes on there is something you on the other side will not even volunteer yourself to be there. But because such person wants to take responsibility for the country, he or she decide to accept such job. So I don't think there's a possibility, even in the international world, where all class of workers are on the same package of welfare. There is always variation, and this is because of according to the category of where you belong. So it all depends on you. Like the medical doctors, some are engineers, some are architects, some are into real estate, some are into so many things, developers. So they all have their virus field, different sector, and that attracts what the welfare and what the package variation should look like.
The media, I didn't mention the media.
The media too. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. Like you're just doing your job right now, trying to pass out the information to the society, make them get aware. You also have your own kind of package because sometimes you work in the
That
night.
needs to be improved too.
I believe so. I believe so.
All right, let's also look at the issue of the Workers' Day. Traditionally, we're very much aware where we see the different affiliates come or converge on one common, venue, whether in state capitals or in Abuja or elsewhere, to celebrate. Is it a special day? You talked about honor, bringing dignity, and what's the feeling like beyond just the march past we see, the speeches we see? Is there any other thing workers feel that they're coming out?
Yeah, for me, workers feel, apart from being honored and celebrated, workers also feel they are they are trying to kind of celebrate also the past heroes because as a worker, a time comes when you leave the service. You're no more there. That means the mantle has been passed to the next person. And this is like a tradition that happens all the time. So during when you're off and this continue, even in your room, I believe as I'm talking, some people sitting in their room to watch will now say at the end of the day, wow, that means the Nigerian workers are still holding this mantle that we gave to them. And like you know, the labor movement is a global movement. It's not just Nigeria, it's a global movement. And this movement was since the 19th century. You understand? Even though I read from the history, it begins in the 18th century in United States. But all the same, all workers came together to fight for a particular goal or to fight for a particular cause. And that brings about the labor movement that we all enjoy today. And workers also enjoy the liberty, the right, and so many other benefits that come with it. So it's worth celebrating. And also it's an opportunity for us to tell the past heroes, thank you for a very good job well done. Thank you for bringing this, for making it possible for us to have the privilege. Thank you for making it possible for us to enjoy what we are enjoying today, because some people fight in the past and it wasn't easy. Some people even say it was very, very bloody because some even ended up, some were slaves, a lot of things happened, you don't have the right to talk, you don't even have the right to say you're tired. But now you can even say, excuse me for a while, you can even say, I have a leave, let me rest at home, you can even say, okay, can I just ease myself? But in those days, from things I've come across over time, it's not possible. So I think it was celebrating and it is a great thing to workers.
I think it's a great thing to workers because those union leaders in the past are our heroes, and their labor, past and never be in vain, because we also read about, the enslavement of human dignity, no freedom, no right to say no to every task given, you must accomplish it. I think today we have better welfare packages, we have, better channels of communication to say no.
And better voices too.
Better voices.
Yes, our voice are heard loud and clear.
I think kudos to those who have fought, the fight for us to be where we are today.
Yes.
Now, before we go into other issues, I want to ask this. Most often, we've also seen the comrades, in their body language, in their behavior, in their approach to disagreeing with some government policies or workplace policy. We've seen how, if I may use the word in quotes, hostile. Is it part of the labor, union, or unionists to be like, I don't agree, quote?
No, I think we've really gone past that.
Okay.
Because like you said, a lot of things has changed. There are policies on ground. So right now, most times we go by the book. And some agitation comes up when you, as maybe a worker, feels that those things that has been written or spelled out in the book are not being followed. So you now knew that your right has been encroached. And that leads to some agitation when there is resistance. But if there is none, I don't think such happen.
Well, we have better approach to resolving some of these issues, if I understand what you're saying. All right, Comrade Sandra Oguna is still here with us. We'll go on a short break, and when we return, we'll talk more about what the Women TUC, does and how they are also approaching issues to resolve issues in the society and in the association.
Thank you.
You're still watching Issues on the Unity Station, NT Channel 5, Abuja. Time now to go on a short break, and when we return, the conversation continues with my guest. Do stay with us. Glad to know you're still with us on the program. It is still Issues on the Unity Station, and my guest is here. She's a comrade and she's been firing from all cylinders. So let's now focus attention to the TUC Women Commission. I know from the name TUC, we know it's Trade Union Congress. So I want to know more about the Women Commission. Is it a way of trying to do gender balancing in the TUC? Or just tell us more about what the Women Commission does.
You've got it all. It's just the TUC Women Commission is the women wing of the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria. And like you say, the gender balancing, the labor movement and the labor world generally have this mandate and enjoy. In fact, they try their best to see that it comes to timeline, the inclusivity, the gender equality, that everyone, everybody, every woman, in fact, in the society, that our voice are heard. So the TUC Women Commission wing is an arm where these women are being groomed. Ordinarily, sometimes the women are always like trying to withdraw themselves back from certain position, thinking it's the men world. But because the labor movement is for everybody, it's for all inclusiveness, and that has really helped a lot of women to cut. That also helped me, because without the Women Commission, I don't think I'll have the opportunity to sit here today with you to talk about the Workers' Day. But that gives me the privilege, opportunity, everything that I need to be able for my voice to be heard.
So, well, talking more about inclusivity. So, how much do you think beyond the leaders like you, other women, how are they measuring up in terms of giving them the voice and also allowing their voice also to scale through certain issues, certain policies over time?
Yeah, over time in the Women Commission, we have time for our meetings, we have time for our seminars, we have time for our summit. Women come together, we celebrate. Most of the women have a lot to do. When you look at the calendar for the year, you just see a lot of things that the women need to observe. And this gives us an ample time and opportunity to come together, groom ourselves, understand ourselves better, create the awareness that is needed for women to know what they are and who they are, and understand themselves better. Because the first thing for you to grow in life is discovering who you are. The moment you discover who you are, sky won't even be your limit. And also it gives us an opportunity to listen to other women that has been there before. I call them the women that have shattered the glass ceilings, the women that has taken advantages of the glass ceilings that are shattered. So it's encouraging, and for me, it's so inspiring for us in the Women Commission wing. And we are doing so many things, a lot. Even some of the corporate, what do they call it?
Organization?
No, some of the corporate social responsibilities. Okay. We do them. We do outreaches. We go to schools. We also mentor. We also do mentoring. We are mentoring the younger girls, the younger females. By the time they see me, we go to their schools. We come to meet them anywhere possible that there is girl child day. We're doing the celebration. We're there. We talk with them. We mentor them. We encourage them. We inspire them. A lot goes on in the Women Commission because in our Women Commission we have the slogan, no women, no nation. Build the woman, build the world. Train a girl child, you train the world. That is it.
All right. Well, are the women also allowed to grow, to rise to a certain position in the TUC or the union?
We have our constitution,
Okay.
and it's public. Anybody can read. The constitution never restrict any woman to be anywhere. There was no restrictions. You understand? But because in the past women were always trying to fall behind, but still the labor movement has created this avenue for the Women Commission so that they can first of all discover themselves and take the further step. And I believe a lot of them are doing so because we just did that. We just finished our last delegate election in TUC, and 2 women emerged at the National Administrative Council. That is a very big achievement. It has not really been so before. It used to be 1, but today we have 2. But gradually we're getting there, and I believe very soon it will be long.
So what should we be expecting soon also for the FCT under your leadership as the chairperson? What should we be expecting? Should we be looking at, before the end of your tenure, we'll see maybe 3, 4 women are also pushed up there?
Exactly. That's always my dream, and I'm working seriously towards that. And I would say the FCT women comrades are top notch. They are very intelligent, very hardworking. In fact, they are. If you look at me, you see that I'm a leader without stress. Because if your member is giving you stress, it will be written all over you. So I believe before my tenure ends, a lot of women will be up there flying in their main colors.
Well, I think you're making sense to some of these issues, and I believe the women out there will be looking up to you, especially our young girls. So, what words of inspiration, encouragement do you have for women out there as we celebrate Workers' Day, as well as young girls who also are aspiring to be great women like you?
Yes, my message to them out there is for them to keep aspiring, believe in themselves, don't look down on yourself, don't have a self-doubt, develop yourself too, because it's very important. They said opportunity meets preparedness. If you're prepared, when the opportunity shows, it's going to be very easy for you to grab it. So just develop yourself, keep working on yourself, keep improving yourself, mingle around, network with others, attend seminars, get yourself enrolled in that education, get your master, get your masters, get your PhD, get to any level you want, because education is power. Knowledge is power, they say, and education is the key. So let's just keep working on ourselves and improving on ourselves generally. Thank you.
And it's a two-way thing. You've spoken to the women, and most times we say, yes, we want better welfare from government to workers. So what's your encouragement to workers who are expected, having received your pay, to also do your work?
Yes. They have to do their work. They have to be punctual at work. They have to communicate effectively. They have to collaborate so much among one another as workers. They have to do a lot on their own side to be able to give back to the society.
I must thank you sincerely, Comrade Sandra Obuna, Chairperson FCD TUC Women Commission, for coming once more on issues to look at some of the issues we have at hand to celebrate this year's Workers' Day. Thank you very much. We wish you well in your leadership of the TUC Women Commission.
Thank you very much, and happy Workers' Day, sir.
Thank you. Well, that is how it has been on Issues tonight with my guest, and she has said a lot for us to go and ponder as well as learn from her conversation with us on the program. Until we come your way, same time, same station next week with another topical issue on the program. I remain Abdullah here, dear, wishing you happy Workers' Day. Bye for now.